You're listening to the Six Figure Designer Podcast, where we ditch the overwhelm, attract better clients, and build a business that fits your life without selling your soul or pretending to be an influencer. I'm Pam Durkin, a 30-year design veteran and creator of the Luxury Client Academy, and I help designers like you stop relying on luck or Instagram to fill your pipeline. Around here, we're all about referral systems, reputation building, and real relationships because you don't need more followers. You need the right people talking about you. Let's build a business you're proud of and make sure it pays you well. Let's get started. Well, welcome back, friends, for another episode. This one is entitled, Done is Better Than Perfect. And the reason for that is that I know the procrastination gene runs deep in you, and what it's doing is really holding you back from moving your business forward. I'm going to tell you why I'm called the closing coach and why you hear that so much from me. It's because I am helping those designers in my Luxury Client Academy keep the needle moving forward, because procrastination and shiny object syndrome is strong, and we have to keep our eye on the ball, our eye on the prize. One of the first things that we do in the academy is that I do a deep dive into your business, not only where your business is at, but where you ultimately want it to go. And a coaching call that I had last week really prompted this episode, because we had already, identified and wholeheartedly agreed with this one designer that she was going to focus on this one area of business. It's something that she's been wanting for years, and she just hadn't been able to crack the code. So we already knew where the focus needed to lie. But what was happening was that distractions were coming along, other types of projects and opportunities were coming along, and they were really taking her focus off the ball. And what was happening is she wasn't putting any time or effort really into this area that she was desperate to grow in her business. And I'm going to talk to you later on in this episode about a particular story where she literally was not reaching out to an opportunity that was in her lap because she was trying, I believe, to make it perfect. So we want to talk about how we can manage that, how you can kind of work through that in your own business. So one of the things that I want to talk about is, what do we do when we know we should be doing something? So many of you know that you should be marketing, know that you should be reaching out to people in your area. You've heard me say it time and time again, and it's just not happening. So the first thing I want you to think about is, who's in my sphere of influence? Who are the closest people to me that know me the best? That's where the first place to start. Not what many of us start with, which is sort of the kind of a cold calling approach, or this idea of, let me get some new blood into my business. But the hard thing about that is those relationships take a fair amount of time to warm up, to learn about you, to feel like you're a trusted resource. So we want to start with people who are as close to us as possible. So the first thing I want you to be thinking about is, you got to rip off the Band-Aid, which means eat the frog, do whatever you need to do. Before your mind starts thinking about it, we've got to get it done. We've got to get that one item crossed off the list. And the easiest way to do that is to just do it. And this is where we come out with done is better than perfect, right? If there's somebody that you've been meaning to reach out to, somebody that's been on your mind, you heard about an opportunity, but now you're waiting for that person to call you back or to reach out to you, and it's been a little bit. And now you're getting into your head about it. Well, Was it something I said? Did they look me up on the web and it wasn't, my business didn't look like it was a good fit, or I don't have a good enough portfolio, whatever. We have so many reasons that we come up with in our own minds as to why someone hasn't reached out. The simple answer could be they're just busy, just like you are. Next thing the whole week's gone and you start over again in the next week. So it could just simply be a fact that they're busy. So I want you to be thinking about as you're crafting who you're going to be reaching out to, and I'm only asking you to reach out to one person, the one person that been meaning to reach out, but you just haven't found the time. You just haven't found the right thing to say. I'm actually going to give you an idea of what you could say to somebody. So that'll help you move this whole process along. But you got to rip off the Band-Aid. You've got to stop thinking about it and literally just do it. And now, one of the tricks that I've found that works really, really well is first thing in the morning, sit down to your desk and literally just send it. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Just send the email. Or if you want, even personalized. I love when people send handwritten notes. Mail is not dead, people. This is where we can stand out because it's very rare that you're going to get something personalized in the mail. So if you want to send a thank you card or a card of any kind, you could definitely do that too. Does not need to be an email. If you're a pick up the phone kind of person, just pick up the phone. More than likely, they're not going to answer the phone. So you can just leave a message. It will be fine. But I don't want you to keep, belaboring it and thinking about it and wondering, I should really do this. I really need to get this, started off my plate, whatever it is. So I want to give you an example where I had a designer who had met two really good prospects at an event, and they had talked to her for a lengthy amount of time, found out exactly what she did, was at an opening of a type of project that they were also doing for their own businesses. And when I asked her more details about it, she said, yes, they told me their name, but I can't remember off the top of my head who that was. And, through a series of her just kind of sitting down and rethinking about it, she remembered the two names. So here's a quick tip for you. If you're at an event and you've been introduced to someone and it sounds like they might have an opportunity, I want you to be putting that in your notes app. Send yourself a voice memo, just a reminder, because what's going to happen is you're going to forget and they're going to forget. Yes, you may have given them a card, which is great. But again, they get busy. So I want you to be capturing all this information so that you can remember, so that you can be active and proactively following up. So she figured out the names. She finally got, the information of how to contact both these people, but it kind of stopped there. She was crafting the message. She was going to Chat GPT to give her an outline of what to say. Then she was coming back and revising it and looking at it. And lo and behold, it's been weeks. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks. And she hasn't made that contact. So I want you guys to remember, you're going to hear me say this so many times, and I want you to write it down. Like, money loves speed. When you meet someone that has a potential opportunity, it's not that you have to go out to them and say, hey, do you have any work for me or whatever. I'm going to talk to you about how you can craft a message that feels really good, feels like you're helping, but also you're there. When somebody has a need, they're going to go, honestly, 9 times out of 10 to the easiest resource, which is the resource that's right in front of them. So if you can be in front of them over the course of not only once, but maybe multiple times, they're going to remember you. They're going to say, oh, I know that person said that they could help me with this. Not everyone is there to buy right away, but we need to be capturing and being more active, more proactive in our own design business about opportunities. So the first thing is you got to rip off the Band-Aid and just send it. Just send it. That's the first one. And, again, we've been talking about the title of this episode, done is better than perfect. So we have to move past the drafts and what the perfect things to say and tweaking it so that it is perfect. And we just got to send it off. Again, we're talking about building that muscle of continuing to reach out more than once to one person. And we want to be reaching out to multiple people over and over again. This is how we get the referral train, to start to chug down the tracks. So we have to be thinking about how do we get past all those things that are going on in your head as to why you're weirded out about reaching out to people, and thinking about this more like, I'm a business owner who's running a business. I have to throw the football 100 times to get, some really great opportunities and people to throw the ball back to me. So we do have to think more about quantity as well, much more than what we've been doing. It's more like a one-to-one right now. Most people are like, there's one opportunity, let me get the one opportunity, and then we'll move on. And I want you to be thinking about having multiple conversations going on at one time, so that when opportunities come up, it's not just one, but maybe it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 at the same time. Now, don't freak out about that, because there's ways, and this is what we do in the Luxury Client Academy, on how you can properly qualify these opportunities. But opportunities and choices are a wonderful thing to have in your business. The first time you say no to a project or an opportunity in your design business, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't done it yet, it's so weird, but it's going to make your confidence soar, because you feel so in control and you feel like you don't have to take everything. So the third thing I want you to remember is to get over thinking that the perfect wording is going to be the difference between you getting a job or not. It's really just the beginnings, right? It's just the first part of the conversation. So we have to actually just let somebody know that we're there, that we're interested, that let's keep talking. Just because you contact someone does not mean that you absolutely have to take the job. You're in fact finding mode. We call it the client audition here in the Luxury Client Academy, because it's just that. You are auditioning clients to see if they're a good fit. And if it's not a good fit, you're going to say, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, but this isn't a good fit for us. And we're going to move on and find other opportunities. So you have to move past that thinking of, if I say one wrong word, the job is going to just poof, go away. The other level that I want you to think about is how to keep it simple. Keep it about them. Be the helper that you want to be in your business. I know you want to help people create beautiful homes and beautiful spaces that really help them live better. So how can we do that in our conversations? And let's take it one step further, because I am a huge fan of working with vendor partners, builders, realtors, really great resources that can give you multiple incredible referrals per year. How can we be a helper for them? How can we help the builder get better clients, close their jobs faster, build more incredible homes? How can we help the realtor get that listing, close that deal, get that client to fall in love with the house? How do we do that? And this is where you need to get creative. So use those creative juices towards the marketing in your own business. And then you heard me say it in the beginning, money loves speed. I want you to recognize, first of all, recognize opportunities that are, in your business that are passing you by, that maybe are said in passing, that previously you would just let go, like let just go on by. I want you to be hyper aware of opportunities that are coming along and coming past you as, every day. And then I want you to be writing down some key information about those, either something that this person said to you, contact information, of course, their name, anything that you can capture so that you can effectively follow up within 24 to 48 hours. Because the more time that passes, the more likely they're not going to remember who you are or remember what that connection is. And we want to be jumping on those opportunities where we've made a connection. So I'm going to be giving you an example of a script that I have that I think could really help you understand how to reach out to someone, how to make a connection with someone very early on in the process. Now, this is for a builder. If you were to meet a builder, maybe at an event, or you read something about them, you read one of their blog posts, or you saw a really cool Instagram post they did. Maybe you heard them on a podcast, or you had a meeting with them, or you went to like a networking event and you met this person. Here's an example of how you could reach out to that person within 24 to 48 hours, even cementing a connection, even if they didn't have an active opportunity. But we know that builders and realtors and vendors are incredible sources of great referrals in our business. We have to figure out ways to start building more and more relationships with really high quality people. So here's a script that you could use in your business. So the subject would be insightful take on what's next in design trends. Hi, Joe. I've been thinking about your point that you made at the meeting that we were at, how clients are craving more character and less cookie cutter. I'm seeing that too. And I'd love to hear more about what you're noticing on your side. So you see how we're taking a conversation that we previously had or something from the article that really struck us as impressive and memorable, and we're bringing that up in this first paragraph. Would you be open to a 20-minute meeting, 10 a.m. on Thursday the 12th? I'm developing something new for my builder partners and your insight would be gold. And then you end the message with your information. Now, the second part of this script, which is incredible, is that we're telling them we're not taking a lot of your time. We would like to do this on this date at this time because I'm developing something that I think your insight could be incredibly helpful, to create this program that would help builders and maybe even this builder. So do you see how easy that is? It's very simple, very helpful. It feels collaborative. It doesn't feel salesy. It acknowledges that that they have an expertise that you would love to tap into. You're bringing back a connection point, which is we met at this meeting. I heard you on this podcast. It made an impression on me. And then it gives that clear reason to meet with a specific time, a specific date, and a specific length of time. So they don't feel like we're going to have that 2-hour, coffee meeting that's going to linger. It's just a quick 15, 20 minutes. We can do that over the phone. We can do that over Zoom. We can do that in person. Do you see how easy that can be? So I don't want you guys to be letting opportunities pass you by. And I want you to be thinking, done is better than perfect. Like put it on a sticky note, stick it on your forehead, put it on your computer, wherever you're going to see it every day. Done is better than perfect. So thanks so much today for hanging out with me and learning how you can break that seal, make those connections, and eat the frog and just get them out in the world. If you're in the midst of doing this, of course, I'd love to hear how it goes. And I would be happy to cheer you on because, sometimes we just need somebody to cheer us on. And I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be speaking at the ASID National Conference called Gather. It's coming up in August, and I'm doing a talk on networking for profit. And I would love to hear from you as to what's going on in your business, in your town, in your specific state. As I do some market research for this speech, I would love to spend 15 minutes with you just hearing about what's going on in your world. If you're open to that, I would love to chat with you. I'll put the link to my calendar in the show notes. And then what I'm going to do as a thank you is that I'm going to send you a copy of my book called Elevate. And it's my gift to you for giving me 15 minutes of your time to just tell me what's going on in your business as I prepare for this speech in August. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining me today. It was great to hang out with you, and let me know how it goes as you reach out to that one key contact this week. Talk to you soon. Take care.